Hello, boys and girls. Today we are going to talk about the two books that we read in class in the previous class. And the two books were The Mud Pony, and this was a story that we read in your Elite 21 theme reader book, and it was The Buffalo Jump, sorry. And so today we're going to talk a little bit about these stories to kind of refresh your memory, and then we're going to do an assignment that's called Open Mind Portraits. And I'll explain the portraits as we go, and then we're going to do a Venn diagram to compare the two characters. So let's kind of remember what these stories were about. So the Buffalo Run was about a boy whose name was Little Blaze, and he wanted to be a buffalo runner. And what that means is that he would run in front of the buffalo, and the buffaloes, he would lead them to the edge of the cliff, and then the buffalo jump over the cliff, and then the tribe that's gathered down waiting for the buffalo, when the buffaloes are killed, then they take them and use their hide and the meat, and everything on the buffalo was used for a purpose. And so Little Blaze wanted to so badly be the buffalo runner, but he had an older brother, and it was his turn to be the runner. And in the story, if you remember, his brother trips, and so Little Blaze is given a chance to run right in front of his brother, and so that his brother wouldn't be hurt. He runs with him and pushes him along, and then the buffalo it's a successful jump, so they jump over the cliff. And so he was very brave and stepped in front of his brother and saved his life. Now in this book, we don't know the name of this little boy, but he was a poor boy, and he dreamed about having a pony. But he couldn't afford a pony, and so he dreamed, he made a pony out of clay. And when he fell asleep, the pony came to life. And the pony would always talk to him, and he would listen to what the pony had to say, and he, in the end of the book, he leads his tribe into battle and ends up winning the battle because of his strength. And so both boys have a lot of similarities and some differences. Could anyone tell me what are two things that are important in a Native American culture?
The family.
The family.
And nature.
And nature, absolutely. And so in this story, the pony represents, the way she would talk to the boy, represents sort of the nature talking to him, or Mother Earth talking to him. And so in our assignment, so that we can understand the character of these two boys a little bit better, we're going to do what is called an open mind portraits. And so I've just made these examples, and these are obviously not Native American boys, but in this assignment, what we're going to do is we're going to draw a face of Little Blaze, and we're going to draw the face of a little boy in the Mud Pony book that you guys have read. And on this sheet, we're going to draw sort of the back of their head, and we're going to draw and write some of the things that were important to Little Blaze and to the boy in the Mud Pony. And in this way, you can kind of visually see what kind of things were the most important to them. And then we're going to follow up with a Venn diagram where we are going to compare and contrast the two characters. So if you could take out your papers like that. Okay, and draw the characters. Can you play the music? And while you're drawing the characters, I might ask you a couple questions. Now, does anybody remember what this word meant in our vocabulary? Piscan? Can anybody remember what that means? What it means is it's the cliff over which the buffalo jump over. So that was one of our vocabulary words. So if you guys continue drawing your portraits, can anybody tell me what are some similarities and differences? What is the same about these two boys?
They're both Native American.
Good.
And they both want something that they don't have.
Very good, very good. And what do you think is the main idea that the author was trying to portray in these stories?
That the boys show courage and they ultimately reach their goals.
Right.
And the pony represents listening to your inner voice.
Very good, Henry. Okay. Good drawing in there. Okay, let's keep going. Very good. Okay. What I might do now, as you guys are sort of finishing up your portraits, I am going to explain to you what I'm going to pass out these two Venn diagrams to you guys. And what I want you to do is write some characteristics of little Blaze right here. And write some characteristics of the boy in the mud pony. And here in the middle where you see the two circles kind of intersect, I want you to write some of the similarities. What do these two characters share? What kind of characteristics do they both have in common? So as you guys are finishing that up, we're going to do this little Venn diagram. Good job. So is this kind of more helpful to kind of see visually what kind of things are important to the two characters? Good, good. It always helps me to see things more visually like that than when I'm reading about them sometimes. So let's get started on these. Okay, finish up your portraits. And let's get started on these. And what we're listening to right now, you guys, is the traditional Native American music. It's very peaceful and kind of makes you think about nature. So, let me see some of the things he came up with here. Thank you. Okay, so remember, on this side, some of the characteristics of the Blaze. On this side, characteristics of the boy and the ponies. And here, what they share. Did you guys enjoy this book?
I really liked it, yeah.
Yeah, I liked it too.
So today, we reviewed a little bit about the two stories. We talked about the boy and the mud pony, And we talked about the two brothers, and especially the younger brother in Buffalo Jump. And we talked about what kind of similarities and some of their differences. In order to understand their differences a little bit better, we drew them out, kind of like what goes on in the back of their head. So we drew what kind of things are important to them and what kind of things they thought about. And we defined the word Piskin. And we then drew the Venn diagram. Did that make understanding these characters a little bit better for you guys?
Yeah, it's much more easier to know the characters when it's all written out.
Or when you can see it visually also. When you can see things in pictures, I think it makes things a little bit clearer to understand. Okay, well, I hope you enjoy your lesson about reading the two stories, and thank you very much.